Good afternoon and welcome to What's Barking Local. My name is Jerry Miller. It's great to be with you on the I Love CVille Network. What's Barking Local is powered by Animal Connection. For more than 18 years, Animal Connection has been the epicenter of everything positive, educational, and informative in the animal community across Charlottesville, Albemarle County, and Central Virginia. Of course, it's the vision of the star of this program, Patty Boden. And Judah, go to the two-shot. Judah Wickhauer,
our
director.
Here we go.
And welcome, Patty, to the show. How are you?
Good. Busy.
I know it's all your year is busy. This is particularly busy for you.
There's so much going on. I mean, it's just, I don't even know where to look first.
Talk to us about what we did earlier this week.
Oh my goodness. Well, I just have to say a couple things about earlier in the week. First of all, I mean, today's World Kindness Day, and we're all really blessed for having what we have. And for the last 2 months, I've been raising funds for someone in the community that through no fault of her own was homeless, living in a car. And we were able to get $2,500 raised and got her a place to live this week.
That's amazing.
It's great. I mean, that just, I don't need anything else for Christmas. I mean, we got her in a home. And, that's pretty cool. So that's
how'd that make you feel?
Just wonderful. I mean, I've just really stuck with it, and it's just great to see people open their pockets and their hearts and want to give back. Especially when everybody else is pulling, and for every little dollar that's out there, I was glad that we could do this. So, yay Charlottesville, and yay for people from as far as Montana that help give back for something like this.
And yay to Animal Connection.
Well, yeah. Yeah, true.
Congratulations.
But yeah, so
that's impressive.
That was a great way to start the week.
I love it. And I love your mindset of, we as business owners, we have to run the business in the black to keep our team members fed, the lights on. But we can run a business, a for-profit business, but do it in a way that leaves the footprint that we're in here in Charlottesville and Central Virginia in a better place.
Right. You got to give back. I mean, if you're taking from the community, you got to give back. Right?
That's right.
Right. So, and on to what you were referring to is...
I'm excited for this.
You and our good buddies at NBC 29 came and joined us Monday morning with, a store filled with dogs of every shape and size you could ever dream of. And you're going to want to keep tuned into NBC 29 for a lot of reasons, but also to see this commercial. It is better than anything we've ever done, I think, on NBC. Would you say that or no?
I think it's the best one we've done.
Yeah, it's
why I think
crazy.
It's the best one is the. Now I love the Mastiff that was in the commercial. 2 commercials ago, 2 Christmases ago. This time you had 2 Great Danes.
Well, yeah, and they're special Great Danes. I mean,
Right.
they all came from Green Dogs Unleashed, and we even had a photo bomb by the lovely Erica Proctor.
She's great.
She's fun.
A party follows her around.
I tell you what, she's got a party right, who was it that used to say, Morris Day on the Time, I got my party right here under my shoes, and that's Erica.
That is totally Erica.
Yep, that is her.
Her TV commercial runs starting on Black Friday.
Yep, that's
through
right.
December.
That's right.
You're going to see it on NBC 29. You're going to see it online across social media. I think it's a true snapshot of what Animal Connection's about.
That's a frightening thought, isn't it?
It's like
it's really crazy.
Stuff done, but we do it in a way that's fun and exciting and over the top.
We all had fun, and everybody kind of let their hair down a little bit.
Even Carol.
Even Carol let her hair down a little bit.
Carol's groomer extraordinaire at Animal Connection.
Yeah, she's a little shy, but she brought her A game.
I got a rough cut to show you tomorrow.
Oh, great. Love it.
I'm excited for your feedback on that. You have a full milk car.
I do. So let's see. In addition to this amazing donation for homeless housing, we had a great little fundraiser for Caring for Creatures. They put out a need for canned food for senior pets, and we were able to give them many cases, all donated. Let's see. Here is what's coming up this week, and boy, there's a lot. So, without further ado, so Saturday, November 16th is it's an event by 3 Notch Brewery, Do Good CVille.
Yeah.
To benefit the Haven, and these guys have been collecting coats since November 2nd, but the big finish is Saturday night. So if you've got coats you want to donate, run them over to 3 Notch, and they're going to give you back free appetizer or a beer flight. There's going to be a drawing for some really nice limited edition beverage of Dave Warwick's choice. That's happening.
It's a variation of the Biggie s'mores.
Yes, that's right. Yummy.
Right.
You know that's going to be good.
That's a good one, right?
You know that's going to be good. Next weekend, we are doing holiday pet photos with our buddies Michi and Jen Skipper, Petography CVille. And you can register for this online. The proceeds for this goes to the House Project, who's been here on the show with Stacey Norris.
That's right.
Houses of Wood and Straw. And there's still just a few slots left after a whole day. So you want to get online really quick and register for those slots if you can. And also going on that day, it's our holiday, and we're calling it the VIPP, the Very Important Pet Parents. It's a preview of all the toys, treats that we've got for the holidays. And man, oh man, our store is packed full. It's got everything you could think of. So we have special pricing on all the holiday merch. You're going to get gift bags with a minimum purchase. We have seasonal goodies. The house van will be there, and you can learn what it takes to do what they do and build the fencing and maybe even volunteer. Moving on from that, on the 7th of December, we're going out with Green Dogs Unleashed.
Nice.
Yeah, Santa Paws. This is their big sale out at Castle Hill Cidery. Cool. So there's going to be vendors, Santa photos, food trucks, family games, cider tasting, and the calendars. They're amazing calendars of all these Great Danes. They're going to be there. You can meet the Great Danes. That is happening on the 7th, and then moving on to Christmas. It's just all go. All go.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Want to emphasize again.
Oh, and the fun run.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to.
That's right. Oh, go ahead.
No,
the
fun run.
You go. You be
I think
fun.
I have my wife and son persuaded.
You did?
Yes.
Awesome.
The Santa costume or outfit that I brought home was a good leverage point for me.
Oh, boy.
We already have them.
Yay.
The fun run is something super special for Charlottesville.
Oh, that's right. This is for the Arc of the Piedmont. And so you'll register for this online, and it's a 1 mile walk. You can run it if you really want to, but most of us walk. But you get a free Santa suit with this. There's mine from 2 years ago. Yep. I had to kind of embellish mine a little bit with the Santa Barks local.
I like it.
But it's a 1 mile event. We encourage people to bring dogs because we're going to give away gift certificates for the best dressed dog. I mean, you can dress them up like a gift package. You can dress them up in tinsel, whatever you want to do. I mean, just make them look really festive. And so that'll be part of that deal. And then there's a pub crawl after that. A brunch crawl.
Brunch
right?
and pub crawl.
Right, brunch crawl.
It's going to be good.
You can spend the day dressed like Santa.
It's one of the events that epitomizes like the many reasons I love Charlottesville.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but who wouldn't want to be downtown and see 600 Santas
600 Santas on the downtown mall.
Your little guy is going to have a fit. He's not going to know what to think about this one.
Oh, I can't wait.
Boy.
We're showing some dogs dressed up as Santa. We got some folks that are screaming for Adam Fels, our guest.
Oh, they are already.
Why
and who
don't
might that be?
we introduce Adam Fels, Patty Boden, to the world here
Let's
on
do
What's
it.
Barking Local.
This is my buddy Adam Fels.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah, he's from, he reps KOHA Pet Foods and Nudie Grooming Products. And I met Adam, how many years have I known you? Going to trade
A
shows.
little over, almost 3 years, I'd say.
Yeah, quite a bit. But he's been in sales most of his life, and I think you've been with KOHA Nudie. Well, 6 years with KOHA, 11 with Nudie, or is that
that's
right?
our vice president. That's Aaron.
Right.
Yeah, I've been with
right.
the company a little over 3 years.
Right,
so.
right. But you've been in sales for quite a long time. You have dogs. You
Yes.
have cats.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a lot of things happening in the pet food world, and I love his products. You know, we feature them heavily in our store, and
Right.
and they're just a super fun company to work for. So we're going to find out about pet food and find out about Adam and see what makes him tick, and
I love it.
let's do it.
Carla Tates is watching in Venice,
Yeah.
Florida. Thank you for joining us. Give us a like and a share on any
All
of the
right.
streams you're watching. What makes you tick, Adam? Who's Adam?
So, yeah, like you said, I've been in sales for almost 20 years. I finished my master's degree in finance, and then shortly after realized I was missing something. Staring at a computer all day long just wasn't doing it for me. And then, as mentioned earlier, Eric Reed he's one of our top executives in the company. He came to me and he said, "I think you'll like what we're doing. We're doing a really good thing at KOHA Pet Food, and I think you could be a part of that." And it really took it by storm. It was so awesome what Lonnie and Eric were doing at KOHA and Nudie. Just being able to see these dogs, and I feed KOHA to my dogs, and just to see their energy feeding a wet food, it did, and making dinner exciting again is amazing. Because if you feed kibble, it's dinner time. Okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. But you start feeding a wet food, and man, they just start clamoring for it. So. What makes me tick? I am a big history buff.
Okay.
My undergrad degree is history. Anybody will tell you, if you know me, I will probably drop some sort of history knowledge on you. And my niece Julia, God bless her, she takes it very well. She I don't know if she's listening, but she pretends very well. So,
What kind of history?
Mainly American, European history with an emphasis on World War II is my specialty as far as what.
How does a history buff get into finance?
So I just love numbers. I love everything about it. Okay. I love being able to forecast and look at things, and you can just see so much by looking at numbers. But it's missing the human element. So this, working at KOHA, I get the opportunity to do a little bit of both. So it's definitely. If you like people, don't do numbers.
And you have a lot of family in Richmond, so you are surrounded by really cool history. Lots
you live
going
in
on.
Richmond?
No, I live in
family.
South Florida. But,
Okay, gotcha.
I have family that lives in Richmond and Virginia Beach.
Cool.
So, yep.
Very nice. What kind of finance you jump into?
So I like to do mergers and acquisitions was something I focused on.
M&A.
The M&A, yep. So that was short-lived after my master's degree. I joined Nudie shortly after, or KOHA shortly after. So started off working just on the inside, getting to know stores, getting to know people, just getting to know the industry. And, we have a great team at KOHA Pet Food. Alex Cortez, Chris DeMello, and Eric Reed really helped me to gain an understanding of the industry and just what pet food is all about, whether it's dry food, kibble, raw, just to understand what goes into it, the processing behind it.
That's the crazy thing, isn't it? I mean, the pet food world, before if you were in sales at a store, you just need to know what your products were and how much they cost. Now you have to know so much. You have to know, with most of my products, I know where the ingredients come from, where they're sourced, what kind of machinery they're using. Everything down to the very last item.
What do you attribute that to? The fact that today's consumer is perhaps more sophisticated because of the ubiquitous nature of these?
Well, they have questions they want to know, and then also there's still a lot of veterinarians out there that want to sell only the big three brands. So for us to go in and say, well, you need to feed all natural foods, well, that's different than what my vet said. You better have a compelling reason, and you better know what you're talking about when you're talking to the vets. Because if you don't know your nutrition information, they will not take you seriously, and they will not recommend you. So now a pet food person can't just stand there and crunch a cash register. You've got to be really educated in products, and what makes them different. And that's one reason why we deal with you guys, is because you give us a lot of information.
Yeah, we try. We try to be as transparent as possible. But getting back, I think it's also the awareness of consumers now. People know or want to learn more, or just genuinely more concerned about what they're feeding their pets. So they do the research.
That's like the millennial mindset.
Yeah,
it is. Well, they're concerned about what they're eating.
Yeah.
Right. Not always. We're all going to have Cheetos and beer every maybe more than once or twice a week.
Well, I think you're exactly
but
right.
we want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what's in my beer when I drink it, don't you?
Right. And if we want to know what's in our body, of course I want to know what's going into my German Shepherds.
Right. Exactly.
And pets are family. And I think that, like you said with millennials, I think that it's more true today. It's always been true, but you see that more, a larger emphasis at least.
Right.
You're getting some props right now from Nancy Gwynn. She says, "Hi,
Nancy.
Adam.
Hi, Nancy.
Where are my mangoes?"
Yeah. Well, you weren't at the store.
She wants some mangoes.
No, yeah, we have mango trees down there, and I promised her for over a year. I'm sorry.
Grace Smith is watching outside Athens in Georgia right now. April Marshall, welcome to the show. Fletcher Stevens, thank you for joining us. Talk to us about your dogs.
So I have Shih Tzu. Her name was Pumpkin. She just passed away last month, actually.
I'm sorry.
So we also have a Maltese. Her name's Maddie. We rescued her. Was not my decision, but it was the best decision that was ever made. So
How so? Put that in perspective.
Uh-oh.
So we, my fiance had quit teaching.
Okay.
She wanted to do a career change, and so we were on one income, and she went to saw this dog and had dragged me along, and you hold the dog and she's doing the wire eyes like, oh, you're gonna drop me, and I brushed it off like, yeah, whatever. And so a few months later, I come home and I hear a sound. And it's, honey, don't be mad. And I'm like,
Oh, boy.
and she's laying on the kitchen floor with this little white puffy dog who's got like the look of like, I'm scared to death in her face. And so fast forward 10 years later, and that dog is my best friend in the entire world. So, you don't really know at first glance. So always give it a second glance, especially when if you're not looking for a dog, it could be the right dog for you.
Isn't that funny when you come home and you're greeted with, I know we already have enough already, but.
My wife is watching the show right now. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're getting some
Hi, Lauren.
props right now. She's watching from Joe Hubbard.
Hey, Joe.
Mateus Tomasi.
Yeah, Matt Tomasi.
Matt Tomasi's
With the high school
watching
team.
right now.
Hey, Matt.
They're loving what they're seeing. Florida's all over the house right now.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, that's your influence right there. Territory sales manager?
Yeah, correct. So
Put that in perspective.
I'm the outside territory manager for Georgia, Delaware, Maryland.
So that's why George is watching right now, too.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Georgia, Southeast Pet, and that's where actually I rescued my kitten from. What was the inside sales team at Southeast Pet. So that was a fun flight back. But
With a cat
yeah,
on a plane?
With a cat,
Oh, boy.
So she was really good
CBD
until
anybody?
No, until I unzipped it and checked on her. Then it became a rough flight.
Oh, wow.
But up until that point, she behaved well.
Oh.
So
How many miles you log in a year? And do you like traveling?
so when I was in high school, I always had this dream that I wanted to travel. That was like my dream job was to travel around and see places. I'm a military kid, so we always moved around a lot, so it was kind of just felt like the right thing to do. So yeah, I do enjoy traveling.
Do you ever get to go to some of the places like where some of the KOHA ingredients, like New Zealand or some of the great ingredients? Do you get to go see those places?
So I have not personally. Lonnie, our founder, Lonnie Schwimmer, he has been to all of our facilities. He's been to Canada where our canned food is made.
Because it's Canada, France?
Isn't
it France?
Sourcing from France, but it's Canada and the United States.
Right.
So
Right.
so Canada and the United States. But as far as traveling, I was really fortunate enough. Lonnie, knew I was a history major, and he's just such a great person. He extended InterZoo to me.
Oh, wow.
And
nice.
I got to actually go to where I actually studied history, and I thought that was one of the nicest things anybody could ever do.
Is that in Cologne?
It's in Germany.
Oh,
It's in
right,
Nuremberg.
Germany, right,
So it was one of the largest pet shows.
Yeah.
It's done every 2 years. So that was an amazing.
I think I'd rather go to Germany than Super Zoo in Las Vegas. Anytime.
Really?
Oh, God, yes.
That bad?
I'm not a Vegas fan, really. No. The only thing I really liked other than Super Zoo was the Liberace Museum.
The Liberace Museum.
I'm not kidding. Oh, it's great. You should
would
go.
like the sports book. You can watch the Seahawks play at the sports book.
I could.
You'd enjoy that.
I probably would have.
Seahawks.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Good win.
Yeah, they got a good
big
W.
win.
You
Man,
watched
they
that, right?
brought it Monday night.
They did. Look good against the 49ers.
I'm still over that one. Love it.
So you obviously, and we see it in other people. You have the gift of human connection, where you kind of feed off people's energy, and you like doing this. What were some of the challenges of you taking this job, going from M&A, mergers and acquisitions, to this? I mean, completely different end of the spectrum, right?
Oh yeah.
It is, but at the end of the day, you have to look at it in the context of people. We're in a people industry. That's what this is all about. You know, if you have a great product, that was the biggest challenge for me was the product, learning the products, and not necessarily learning our products, but what makes our products stand out. What our food is about, what our message is about. And then that, to me, took the longest amount of time was an understanding of things that go into pet food, phosphorus levels. Because we're a wet food that specializes in pets with food sensitivities, picky eaters, things of that sort. And
Digestive woes.
Digestive woes.
Exactly.
So understanding that concept, I mean, I worked for a homeopathic pharmacy in my early 20s. So kind of it's different with pet food as far as, hey, you know, if your cat has an IBD issue, what food would you feed them? And I was fortunate. Lonnie was smart in making and having me do the customer service when I first started. So I kept constantly getting bombarded with questions like that, and you know, and it's, hey, find the answer out. And so it was took a little bit. I mean, as with anything, but after the first year, I started feeling fairly comfortable.
That's so neat too, to have that kind of exposure to get different aspects of the business. I remember when I worked at Mountain Lumber Company before I did this. I mean, I worked in the flooring. I worked pulling nails out of big timbers, and I ripped tongue and groove. I mean, you had to do every little phase so you could talk intelligently about that. And we do that at Animal Connection too. I mean, everybody.
You know every aspect of your business.
Well, everybody in our store does.
Right.
I mean, we all go back and forth to either help in the grooming area, and the grooming people come and help in the retail area. And I think that's really important. So you really know what's going on.
Matt is giving you some props right now. He says Adam is doing big time things, and then he gives you the smiley face emoji right there. Where's he
Yay.
watching? Fort Lauderdale, Florida? Is that where he's watching right now?
Matt Tomasi?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in South Florida.
He wouldn't like it up here today, would he?
No, it's
He
it's
freezes
Florida
to death.
winter up here right now.
When you go, and so Patty, we're an advertising agency.
Yep.
We love working alongside her brand. One of the reasons, and I say this often, I enjoy working alongside her brand, is because she previously ran her own advertising agency. So she's more sophisticated than other clients we have with connecting with customers in the marketplace. So props to you. That's 100% true.
Thank you. I was just going to say that can be a good thing for you or a bad thing.
Right.
95% of the time, a good thing. 95% of the time.
Unless she shows up early.
5% of the time. I'm going to throw this
I
to
ask
you
a
here.
lot of questions.
When you are dealing with the individual, like say boutique owners, what are the challenges that you're facing? Is it the educational piece primarily?
So with you call it boutique, we like to call them independent.
Okay.
So brick and mortar stores. A lot of the challenges you'll face. So we've been out. KOHA's been out about 6 years as far as manufacturing the pet food. So shelf space is always an issue. It's they don't have these huge shelf spaces like big box retailers would have. So it's being able to get your product in, because we understand we have a good product, and we as a smaller company we do things that maybe larger companies can't do. So
we have a great employee feeding program.
yeah, we do employee feeding program.
Everybody in my store feeds this product.
Really?
They get a number of cans a month. Yep.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Everybody does.
So-
Yep.
So you're turning the team members into evangelists for the brand by having them feed the
Exactly.
product to the dogs
Yeah.
that mean the most to them.
Because I mean,
That's a no-brainer. That's genius.
You're gonna if you eat it, you're more than
yeah.
than likely to
To
recommend
recommend
it.
it.
Right. So
So when you're sitting there and you're going, she's got a great head for business.
she does.
Pshaw.
Are you finding that a lot of her counterparts in similar positions have similar mindsets?
So everybody's different, especially if you're dealing with. Let me actually think about that. That's a good question. It is a little bit different with certain people. Some people are more about what price is price point an issue, or is how often you're going to run a sale on it. But as far as Patty, it's all about nutrition for her. So it's she really emphasizes, hey, what goes in the can is as important as anything. So it really depends on the retailer. So if it's more of a, hey, we need to do an employee feeding, or hey, we need people to try this. So we'll try to do samplings.
This is one of the beauties, I will say, of the independent retailer, because you can go to an independent more so than you can a chain or something like this, because your independent retailer has got, they're not only helping select the products, they're using the products, they've got a certain number of SKUs that they can talk about that maybe are a lot less than a big chain would have, but they're also they're the buyer, they're the social media person, they're the nutritionist, they're the groomer, they're wearing a lot of different hats, and all these hats intertwine to help build the brands that your store's carrying. So in a lot of ways, these smaller independent retailers, and I'm talking smaller, like maybe 8 stores or less. To me, that's smaller. That's a great opportunity to deal with somebody like that, because you are going to get more individual attention. You're going to get a lot more knowledge and a lot more personal service and recommendations than you would maybe at some of the bigger stores.
It's the value proposition.
Right, it is. It's a
the
great value.
prop.
Exactly.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a customer either call you or come in and then spend 10, 15 minutes of your time asking questions about food, and then they either buy it once and you never see them again, or they don't ever buy from you? Does that ever happen?
I have had that happen. They have come in and they've...
It's like what people do at Best Buy.
Well,
Right.
no,
You know what I'm talking
they'll...
about?
Same thing.
Oh, no. They'll come in and we'll spend as much as an hour with them talking about brands, talking about nutrition, and how the age and their dog's health issues relate to what we want to recommend, and send them out with armloads of free samples. And, even here's a coupon, come back and buy your next order from us. And it's very frustrating to do that. And then they say, great, I can go now buy it online. Sometimes less expensive than what I can get it for wholesale. Not with your product,
Right.
but,
So, and
but
that's
in other products. It's
going back to what
it's
you were-
frustrating.
Yeah, well, it's messed up.
Yeah, but you know what? Something will happen, and they either use the product incorrectly or whatever, and they come back. They're like, oh, well, this didn't work because I did this, but now what else can you recommend? And it's like, well, they always come back, but
And then that's
Right.
one of the struggles, is getting them to keep coming back. But
that's a toughie right now.
we don't sell any of our products on Chewy or Amazon. So that's one of our big points
Right.
of emphasis with independent pet stores is,
Right.
hey, we're an independent, we
not gonna
we
get
back
undercut.
independent. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they're not going to come in and spend 20 minutes talking to her and then go buy it on Chewy or Amazon. They're
Right,
come
and
back
you guys
buy it
also
from
give
her.
us a really good frequent buyer program that we can offer them that they won't find other places. So that works out for us.
I love it. I mean, I
So-
think that's like some vision from the brand, because the brand is not just chasing dollars; they're chasing relationships that are long term. And I think that's what obviously you guys are all about.
Yeah.
Because if you were just chasing dollars, you would have your product on every shelf, e-com or brick and mortar possible.
Our goal is not to get product on Patty's shelf. Our goal is to get product off of her shelf, and that's the main goal.
That's a sizzle reel. That's a sizzle reel right
It's
there.
got all the good things to say right here. Give it a like and a share.
All right.
Just like Michelle LaRocco did. Thank you for liking. We have 4 different
like
states
that
watching
one.
the show right now. All right, so what separates KOHA Pet Food from competitors?
So we're moisture rich, minimal ingredient. That's the big emphasis with our food. We are only a wet food brand company. Picky eaters. If you have a cat or dog, if you hear that term, picky eater, my dog won't eat this, my cat won't eat this, they will with our food. That's really, and we use novel proteins, especially for those pets with food sensitivities, allergy-driven proteins. We use kangaroo, we've used venison in the past, we use lamb and rabbit. Just proteins that pets won't have, or less likely to have allergy sensitivities to.
I love it.
And it smells nice. I mean, I've had a lot of different brands in my store that are canned, and you open it and go, ugh, but it smells nice. If you were stuck in a bad situation, it wouldn't bother me, to open up a can. If I ever had to do it, I wouldn't die,
Carol Fensel giving you some love right now. The food that, I think about this often. So 2 German Shepherds. Also had to put down a dog earlier this year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lucy, 17 years spent with her. I think about often like feeding these furry beasts, these family members, the same food all the time. And how if you're if it was us, Like, would we want to eat
No.
the same every day for their entire life?
I wish I had this link so I could share it with you. There's a YouTube video by a vet that posted a video of what it would be like they called it human chow. And the video is just a guy eating kibble day in, day out, and kind of correlating the message like, would you want to eat this every day of your life? Going to the grocery store, picking up a bag of human chow, going home and eating just this kibble with water. And, we great story of our former marketing director, Eric Relkin. He found out fast. He wasn't in the pet industry, found out fast that he was a horrible pet parent. And he'll be the first one to tell you that he was a horrible pet parent. And that's where the Make Dinner Exciting Again came from. He started using...
that was the name of the campaign?
I wouldn't call it a campaign, but it was just Make Dinner Exciting Again.
Like the mission statement.
Right.
Yeah, you could say that. But his dogs only had kibble, and he didn't know any better. And that's the problem, is so many people just don't know any better. And it's that they just think that kibble is what they should be feeding. He started feeding wet food as a topper to his kibble. And within a week, his dogs were running circles around the dinner bowl while he was prepping the meal. And he just thought, wow, he correlated to if he traveled to Georgia, he had to go to specific restaurants when he was in Georgia. If he went to upstate New York, there were certain restaurants he had to go to. And that's because dinner is exciting. And he was able to do that for his dogs. And, I think that's the biggest disconnect with a lot of pet parents, is they just don't know the value of feeding a wet food as a topper.
Right, and we're big believers in rotation. I mean, if you think about it, even for your own diet, some people might crave like a lighter protein like chicken or fish in the summer, and you might want something heavier like lamb. If you think about what you eat, that's what people sort of crave, or different proteins at different times of the year. And dogs...
It's like me liking stouts in the winter.
Exactly.
Or a glass of red wine.
Exactly. I mean, you're craving and the animals are like that too. I mean, that's one reason why you do it. And this is basic. I mean, for me, this is Chinese 5-element theory. And you do switch your proteins and your vegetables with the seasons, to keep your body in balance. And then the other thing is, I mean, you just never know. I mean, if your dog eats one thing every day, I mean, they can develop allergies later in life. And then what happens? Now you've got to find something when they're 10 or 15 years old, and what are they going to eat? Or, God forbid, there's a recall on that brand of dry food you're feeding. Now what are you going to do? Rotating and just being aware of different things, not only keeps things lively and exciting, but it also adds different enzymes that they need and helps their bodies at different times of the year when they need it.
Chris DeMello, welcome to the program. He's watching. Gave you guys
Chris.
some props right now. So is the number one challenge that you guys have as a brand, and this is me thinking as an ad guy, is the educational piece with your marketing?
I mean, educational piece to whom? The retailer or to the consumer?
Both. Because in a lot of ways, both are your customers. I mean, you've got to make the connection with the retailer, who's the face-to-face with the customer. But if the customer doesn't know the brand and only has to rely on getting educated by the retailer, that's more challenging to sell product.
I think the most challenging aspect is getting those customers who are buying their kibble from the grocery store or buying their kibble from the supermarkets.
Like Walmart.
Yeah. But, or Costco or any of the stores like that. Getting those consumers aware of the value of feeding a wet food as a topper. That is our biggest struggle. People that shop independent and local, we have great retailers like Patty. They will correlate the message for us and the value of feeding our canned foods. But the biggest would be getting those customers that shop at grocery stores.
Right. He's exactly right. I mean, anything you can do to pull them in. I mean, and even at the bigger trade shows, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. You have to wade through so many things. But, the KOHA story is very compelling. It was a no-brainer for me to say, yeah, we'll do it. It's just, there are a lot of good reasons. There's a lot of good nutritional information that's ready for the consumer. It's just it was very easy, and the packaging looks nice.
Yep.
We're
really
big
like
on
the
graphics,
brand.
and we're
The
big on
brand's great.
shelf appeal, and the packaging looks great.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough good about it.
You've made this easy. You've filled 40 minutes. You're good at your job. How about this last question here? Maybe some firsthand perspective of what you've seen say, a dog enjoying your brand and your product for a long period of time? What kind of positive impacts have we seen with quality of life, with coat, behavior?
So definitely skin and coat. Behavior. So our Maltese she always scratched and itched, always. So again, when I made the comment about Eric Relkin being a horrible pet parent, I was also a horrible pet parent when I first came to the company. And I didn't know any better. And, thanks, Alex, for letting me know how horrible I was. So we switched to a better dry food and then eventually switched to KOHA. And with Maddie, there was less scratching, less itching. She was fuller. She wasn't as hungry all the time. We didn't have to leave free-range food out or free-roam food out for her all day. It was, hey, you're going to eat this time and you're going to eat this time. And they never fought over their bowls. It was the most amazing thing to watch. And she being a white dog, I mean, her coat looked so much better after feeding wet food.
Did she have tears standing before you started? A little bit.
So Pumpkin did, but that's just because she was the weirdest dog in the world. She had an affinity for vegetables.
Right.
So she loved carrots. And the beta-carotene caused
right.
tear stains for her. But, when I first started, it's jarring when everybody in the company is feeding this food. And everybody believes in it. And that's such an easy thing to get behind is,
Right.
the whole reason we came out with this food was because our founder, Lonnie, didn't like the foods that he was feeding his dog, and he wanted to come up with a solution. And Ellie, she's going on 16 now and doing great. So, it's a really fun.
That's a good age for a dog. Yep.
Yeah.
For a Frenchie, too.
Yep.
Nice.
And if you're a consumer that's listening, I mean, if you want to try something new, that's great. We strongly encourage you to, try some of the things that we have here. But I guess the most important thing is, don't beat yourself up if you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I've been feeding my dog the wrong food or the wrong way for many, many years. I mean, this is how I started my business. I mean, I had a brother that worked for the Checkerboard brand, and so I was feeding a lot of that food and had 3 dogs die of cancer, and that's how I got started doing what I do now. And you can't beat yourself up. You can only know what you know, and you just got to go forward and just do better. Either with the dog you have or your next dog or your next family. I mean, you can always take it a step better.
Yeah.
Yep.
And make sure, like you said, rotate it early on. Rotate foods early on. So you don't come, what am I looking for?
It's like kids that only eat peanut butter and jelly and chicken fingers. They got to eat kale sometimes,
Right.
They got to try stuff.
Right.
Try new
it's
things.
It's like the kid that was sheltered from shellfish or peanuts for his childhood, and then when they get to being a teenager or an adult, they have shellfish allergies or peanut allergies.
Yeah.
It's like it's a no-brainer.
Try everything,
Right?
people.
I'm not trying to marginalize anybody, but it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Right.
Try everything.
Go Adam from Jason Ferrara. Just give you some props right now.
All right.
You did a great job.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Our pleasure. What's Barking Local, powered by Animal Connection. Your fabulous store.
Thank you.
18 years plus. Support local.
That's right.
Patty Boden is doing big time things. I'm going to embarrass her right now. She's doing big time things for the Charlottesville and Central Virginia community. Return the favor by supporting the people that are making the community better. Okay? Support local, shop local, especially this holiday season. Thank you to Adam and Patty Boden. What's Barking Local airs Wednesdays at 3 to 3:30, in some cases 3:45.
Oh,
on the I
Yeah.
Love CVille Network. You did a great job.
Yeah.
We will archive the show in totality on animalconnectionva.com, on ilovecville.com. We'll take it and turn it into an iTunes podcast today by close of business. The show, the visual, and the audio will be archived on Animal Connection VA and ilovecville.com. We'll syndicate it for 30 days across 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts, the 3rd largest Instagram in Central Virginia, and an e-newsletter that goes out to 118,000 inboxes every morning at 11 a.m. You rock.
You rock, and you rock.
You rock, and you rock.
You guys have
We
a
all
good
rock.
afternoon. Stay warm. Stay
Yay.
warm. Keep your dogs warm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Good job.
Yay.
Well done.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, you're really good. He's going to take care of it for us real quick. Take that picture over here.
Yeah.
Good work, Judah.
Way to go, guys.